I'm Julie Neckley, and this is a quick video on why you would want to get an astrology reading. The types of readings I do mostly are about something called astrological transits, and that's basically an astrological weather event in your life. And during a transit, a certain type of energy is going to enter your life, and this is specific to your birth chart, so it doesn't happen at the same time for everyone. A specific type of energy is going to enter your life. You can't stop that. But what you can do is determine how you're going to utilize that energy and utilize it in a constructive manner. For example, if you're having a Mars transit, let's say, that means that an increase of angry, aggressive, red, hot energy is going to be entering your life, some part of your life, depending on which house the transit is happening in. And so if you know you're having a transit like that, you can plan to use it in a constructive way. For example, if you were wanting to start jogging anyway, if you do it during a Mars transit, it's going to be a hell of a lot easier because you have the wind at your back, really. Or if you're wanting to adopt a fireman, then he would express that energy. Because the energy does not have to be expressed through you. It only has to be expressed through someone, So it's going to hit you or someone else or something else, even an object in your life, depending on where the most susceptible point is. It is very similar to a lightning. It's very similar to using a lightning rod. We can't stop the lightning from striking, but the lightning rod gives it, through using a lightning rod, we control the way that the place where the lightning will strike. And we can do that same thing with transits, because a certain type of energy is going to enter, but we can give that energy a place to enter that will be the most constructive place. Except, one exception to that is there's another factor in astrology which can be seen through astrology, but it can't be controlled by us because it's higher than all these things, and that's destiny. And some things that happen in astrology are related to our destiny and compelling us to follow our destiny. And in those cases, things can happen that you don't necessarily like, but they can't be altered because it's part of a higher plan. But anyway, in other cases, though, however, it's just an energy entering that we can use in multiple ways. And in those cases, we do have some control over it. So there's two people who will have the hardest time with the transit are if you're someone who's already teetering on the edge in a certain area of life, like your personality or your life, it's like dangling by a thread, and then a transit is coming that's going to hit you right there, then that's a problem. And so then you would want to take steps to improve that area of your life before the transit hits, Like if you're having a Mars transit and you are just a fucking hothead who's always flying off the handle, you're going to be the most susceptible point. So the transit's going to hit you. You're going to be the one expressing it. And that's not good because you're already out of control. So then you would want to take steps to get control of your hothead, like putting cooling milk compresses on your forehead every evening before bed or whatever. You want to do something to try to get control of that before the transit hits. The other type of person who's going to have a lot of trouble with the transit is the type of person who is against a certain type of energy. Like, maybe you're like, I hate anger and I hate angry people. Or if you're like, oh, I hate scabby movies. I hate violence. Then you're going to have trouble with a Pluto transit or something. Or if you're like, I always tell the truth. Whatever it is that you're defining yourself against, at some point, those energies that you're defining yourself against are going to come in through a transit, because all the energies have their place in the universe. They all have a useful function that they're fulfilling. So a big part of astrology is being able to embrace and appreciate the full scope of energies, because although you may think honesty is always the best policy, it's not always the best policy, right? I mean, there's some times when it's probably better to lie so that your kid doesn't get murdered or whatever. And so it's different transits will stretch you, to tap into different parts of yourself that you might not really be identified with. And if you understand what transits you're having, then it can help you be open to new things, which will actually improve your life, even if it's outside of what you normally do and normally express. Because all of the transits can be used for good if we're willing to find a good way to use them. And then when there's things happening in terms of your destiny, even though you can't change those things, it can still be useful to know, because A, you can prepare so that things go more smoothly, and B, it saves you a lot of the anguish, you know, when you realize that you're just experiencing something that is to be expected. Because no matter how well you plan, there's certain things that have to happen, you know. It's like people die and you can't stop that from happening. And so it's not like a failure. And it's similar to that in astrology. It's like certain phases have to happen, and when you just understand that, then you can like work with them rather than working against them. So it's really about these new energies that are constantly entering our lives, and by understanding that, it gives us the chance to choose to work with them in a way that's constructive and moves us towards our goals. Yeah, so that's what transits are and why you would want an astrology reading. I'm Julie Neckley. Thank you.